I lost everything in that divorce: the house, the Mercedes, my son, even the dog wagged its tail for her when she left. When the judge read the verdict, my ex-wife, Melissa, smiled at me. That smug movie villain smile. "Enjoy poverty," she whispered, as if it were dessert. I didn't fight back. Not because I was weak, but because I was watching. You learn a lot when you stop reacting. I took a job cleaning foreclosed homes. It was humiliating at first, scrubbing toilets and houses bigger than the one I'd lost. But it paid cash, no questions, no eyes watching me drown. One February morning, I was cleaning out a foreclosed property near Bastrop. A quiet house with ivy strangling the porch. In the basement, I found a rusted filing cabinet, heavy, dented, padlocked. Something about it felt wrong, too personal. Curiosity beat fatigue. I pried it open with a crowbar. Inside were old documents, brittle from time, tax forms, receipts, deeds, the kind of paper trails people forget exist. One folder stopped me cold. Hollis, James, and Daniel, 1961. My grandfather's name. And mine. I flipped it open. Inside, a deed to 127 acres in Austin, Texas, purchased for $9,800. No sale record after that. The address rang no bells. I typed it into Google Maps. The satellite view loaded. My pulse spiked. That land was now the heart of a billion-dollar tech campus. Glass towers, private roads, a lake, and under all of it, my family's name. Melissa once joked I'd never make real money because I was too ethical. She said it like it was a curse. Maybe it was. But staring at that deed, something shifted inside me. A thought I hadn't allowed in years whispered, "What if she's wrong?" The next few months, I didn't clean houses. I studied deeds, inheritance law, and old property transfers. The land had been quietly absorbed into a web of shell companies, one of which had Melissa's new boyfriend listed as a financial officer. His name was everywhere, Paul Whitaker. He wasn't just her rebound, he was the architect behind my ruin. He'd represented her in our divorce. He'd made sure I got nothing. Now it seemed he'd made sure no one noticed the buried millions beneath my grandfather's land. They thought no one would ever find the paper trail. They were almost right. I didn't confront them, not yet. I played the broke ex-husband, the pathetic cleaner who still drove the same dented truck. I let Melissa laugh when she saw me at our son's school, her diamond flashing like a trophy. "Still living the dream?" she asked. "Every day," I said. She didn't hear the tone beneath it. I created a company, just a name at first, Hollis Restoration LLC. On paper, it was a foreclosure cleanup service. In reality, it was my way in. Through quiet favors and the right notarized forms, I traced the deed's transfer chain back to an inactive holding company registered under Paul's control. He'd used it to absorb the land decades after my grandfather died. Illegally. A signature forged, a seal copied. And the best part? Every forged document had a date, and his digital signature on the copies filed with the county. All I had to do was nudge the right people. The IRS doesn't like forged property deeds. Neither do state tax agencies. Or corporate investors who suddenly realize a billion-dollar campus sits on stolen land. Within a month, investigations opened. By the second month, Paul's assets were frozen. His firm dropped him. Melissa stopped posting vacation photos. And me? I stayed silent, watching. When she finally called, her voice was small. "Daniel, I need help. They're saying Paul, he did something illegal with property records. They're freezing my accounts too." "Oh?" I said. "That sounds serious." "Daniel, please. They think I was involved." "Were you?" Silence. I could almost hear her realizing what I'd done. 2 weeks later, I showed up at the courthouse for the first hearing. Paul was there, thinner, paler. Melissa sat behind him, sunglasses hiding her eyes. I handed the clerk a small envelope. Inside, the original 1961 deed, notarized, legitimate, stamped in my grandfather's hand. The clerk looked up. "Are you the heir to this property?" "I am now," I said. The story hit local news first, then national. Family land stolen by corporate developer, grandson reclaims it after 60 years. Reporters called it a miracle of justice. I called it math. Years of taking, plus one man finally taking back. When the tech company realized the foundation of their billion-dollar campus sat on land never legally sold, they paid fast. 8 figures fast. Cheaper than relocation. I didn't smile when I signed the settlement papers. I just remembered her voice. Enjoy poverty. A month later, I picked up my son from school. He ran into my arms, shouting about our new ranch. He didn't know it was revenge. To him, it was home. Melissa stood by her car, eyes red, lips trembling. "Daniel, how did you—" I stopped her. "You were right." "About what?" she asked. "That I'd never make real money." I smiled faintly. Turns out, I didn't have to. I turned away before she could answer. The land stretches for miles, green, quiet, untouchable now. I walk it every morning before sunrise. Sometimes I find old fence posts my grandfather built, still standing. He'd left something behind, not just land, a reminder. That silence isn't weakness, it's calculation. That revenge doesn't always need fire. Sometimes it just needs proof. I lost everything once. Now I own the ground they built their empire on. And every night, when the wind passes through the grass, I swear it sounds like him, whispering approval. Justice doesn't shout, it signs its name.